Congratulations. If you are here, listening to these words, there is already something extraordinary happening in your life. Not tomorrow, not yesterday. Today, this moment, this date, 19 September, is very, very special for you. Why? Because life has placed you exactly where you need to be, with exactly the message you need to hear. There are no accidents. There is a reason why your ears caught this vibration, why your heart leaned closer to these words. Today is not just a day on the calendar. It is a doorway. It is a reminder that destiny whispers, not in noise, but in silence, not in chaos, but in moments like this. Awareness creates miracles. These 3 words, if you truly understand them, can shift the entire course of your life. But the truth is, most people live unaware. They wake up in the morning, and the first thing they do is pick up their phone, scroll through the endless noise of the world, and already their mind is distracted, divided, pulled away from the most essential reality of all, the present moment. And so, their day begins in unconsciousness. They go to work, they drive their car, they speak with others, they eat their food, but they are not really present. They are living, yet not alive. Existing, yet not awake. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine opening your eyes in the morning and becoming aware of the simple fact that you are breathing. Aware that life, without asking anything in return, has granted you one more sunrise. Awareness is a light, and when you shine that light even on the most ordinary act, such as brushing your teeth, drinking a cup of water, taking your first steps, it transforms into something extraordinary. The miracle does not lie outside you. It is not in the money you hope to earn, not in the recognition you want from others, not even in the destination you are chasing. The miracle is already here, hidden in plain sight, waiting for you to notice. You see, awareness is the key that unlocks doors you never realized existed. If you look back on your life, you will see moments where you were rushing, distracted, unaware, and because of that you missed something vital. Maybe an opportunity passed you by. Maybe someone who loved you spoke words you did not fully hear. Maybe your own inner voice whispered, but you were too busy to notice. This is the price of unconscious living. We miss what is precious while chasing what is temporary. But the moment you bring awareness into your life, everything begins to shift. Imagine sitting in silence for just 1 minute, closing your eyes and observing the breath as it enters and leaves your body. Nothing magical has happened in the outside world. The room is the same. The sounds around you are the same. Yet inside, a new space opens. That space is clarity. That space is presence. That space is the birthplace of miracles. Why? Because when you are truly aware, you see reality as it is, not as your distracted mind imagines it to be. Let me tell you a story. There was once a monk who walked through the forest carrying a bucket of water. On his way, the bucket slipped and spilled. Most people would have been frustrated, angry at themselves for being careless. But the monk simply stopped, looked at the spilled water on the ground, and smiled. When asked later why he smiled, he said, "Because for the first time, I truly saw water. I saw its transparency. I saw its reflection of the trees above. I saw the way it soaked into the earth. It was so beautiful, and yet all these years I have been drinking it without noticing. Today I became aware, and today I met water for the first time." This is awareness. To meet life, not through the haze of habit, but through the freshness of attention. And when you live like this, miracles no longer appear rare. They become your daily experience. The miracle of being able to walk when so many cannot. The miracle of a beating heart pumping without your command. The miracle of a single breath sustaining you moment by moment. The problem is not that miracles do not exist. The problem is that we are too distracted to see them. We chase after extraordinary events while ignoring the extraordinary that is already happening. Think of it. You carry a universe inside your body. Billions of cells working together in perfect harmony to keep you alive. Yet do you ever stop and give thanks? Awareness allows you to do exactly that. It brings reverence into your life. Reverence for the small, reverence for the ordinary, reverence for what is already here. And when you revere life, life opens itself to you in ways you never imagined. But awareness is not just about appreciating beauty. It is also about recognizing truth. Many of us live unaware of the patterns that guide our behavior. We get angry quickly, we worry excessively, we compare ourselves endlessly, and yet we never stop to ask, why am I doing this? Where does this reaction come from? This is unconsciousness. To be tossed around by emotions without awareness is like being a leaf in the wind, going wherever the storm takes you. But awareness gives you roots. With awareness, you catch yourself in the moment of anger and say, anger is here. Not, I am angry, but anger is here. That simple recognition creates distance. And in that distance, you find freedom. The freedom not to react blindly, but to respond consciously. This is why awareness is the seed of transformation. Because you cannot change what you cannot see. Imagine trying to fix a wound on your arm, but refusing to look at it. You will only make it worse. In the same way, you cannot heal your inner wounds without first becoming aware of them. And awareness is not judgment. Awareness does not say, this is good, this is bad. Awareness simply sees. It shines a light. And in that light, healing naturally begins. When I say awareness creates miracles, I am not talking about magic tricks. I am talking about the miracle of becoming whole. The miracle of seeing your life as it is, and in that seeing, finding peace. Let us take a simple example: eating. Most people eat while distracted. They are talking, watching a screen, thinking of tomorrow. They put food into their mouth, chew, swallow, but they do not taste. Yet when you eat with awareness, you truly taste. You notice the texture, the flavor, the effort of the earth, and the hands that brought this food to your table. Eating becomes meditation. Eating becomes gratitude. And what is the miracle here? The miracle is that something as ordinary as a meal becomes nourishment, not just for the body, but for the soul. Now imagine applying this to every aspect of your life. Walking with awareness, so that every step connects you with the earth. Speaking with awareness, so that your words carry clarity and compassion. Listening with awareness, so that you truly hear, not just the sound of words, but the silence between them. This is how awareness creates miracles, by transforming the mundane into sacred. But do not think awareness is something far away, something you must travel to a monastery to discover. It is already within you. Right now, as you listen to my words, become aware of your breath. Notice the rise and fall of your chest. Notice the sound around you. Notice your posture. Already awareness is here. It has always been here. The only question is, will you remember it? Or will you allow yourself to forget again in the noise of daily life? There is a story of a disciple who asked his master, "What is the secret of enlightenment?" The master replied, "When you walk, walk. When you eat, eat. When you breathe, breathe." The disciple was confused and said, "But I already do these things." The master smiled and said, "No, when you walk, you are already thinking of your destination. When you eat, you are already thinking of tomorrow's problems. When you breathe, you are not aware of breathing. To truly walk, to truly eat, to truly breathe, that is awareness. That is enlightenment. This is the essence of what I wish to share with you today. Awareness is not something extraordinary. It is the return to what is most natural. And yet, in its simplicity lies its power. Because when you live aware, your life changes. You no longer waste time chasing illusions. You no longer drown in regret of the past or fear of the future. You live fully here, in this moment. And that is where all miracles happen, in the now. Think of your relationships. How many arguments arise not because of real conflict, but because we were not truly listening? If you listen with awareness, you hear not just the words, but the heart behind the words. You feel the emotion, the unspoken longing, the hidden pain. And when someone feels truly heard, healing begins. This is the miracle of awareness in relationships. It creates bridges where there were walls. Think of your work. How often do you rush through tasks just to finish, without awareness of what you are doing? And then you wonder why the work feels empty, why you feel drained. But when you bring awareness into your work, even the simplest task becomes fulfilling. Washing dishes, writing an email, walking to the store. If done with awareness, each act becomes meditation. And when life becomes meditation, you no longer seek miracles, they unfold naturally. Now you may ask, how do we cultivate awareness? The answer is simply by practice. Awareness is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Begin with small things. When you wake up, before reaching for your phone, take 3 conscious breaths. When you drink water, notice the coolness on your tongue. When you speak, pause for 1 moment before words leave your lips. These little practices plant the seeds of awareness. And as you nurture them, awareness will grow into a tree that shades your entire life. But remember, awareness is not about perfection. Do not strive to be aware every second. That striving itself becomes another distraction. Instead, be gentle. When you forget, simply notice that you forgot and return. Return again and again. This returning is awareness. This humility is awareness. And as you practice, something profound will happen. You will begin to see that awareness is not just within you. It is the very fabric of existence. The universe itself is aware. Life itself is awake. And when your awareness meets universal awareness, you experience oneness. You realize you were never separate, never alone. The miracle is not that you awaken. The miracle is that you remember you were awake all along. So, today, on this very special day, 19th September, I invite you to take awareness into your life. Do not let this day be ordinary. Let it be the day you opened your eyes, not just to the world outside, but to the world within. Let it be the day you tasted water for the first time, felt the breath for the first time, listened for the first time. And then, let this day expand into tomorrow, and tomorrow into the rest of your life. Awareness creates miracles. And the greatest miracle is this: when you live with awareness, you no longer wait for life to become special. Every day, every hour, every breath becomes special. And then, you realize it was never about the calendar. It was never about 19th September being special. It was about you becoming aware. And when you are aware, every date, every moment, every heartbeat is holy. The power of letting go is one of the greatest lessons life can teach you. Yet it is also one of the hardest for the human heart to accept. From the day we are born, we begin to hold. We hold on to the warmth of our mother's embrace, onto the comfort of familiar places, onto toys, onto friends, onto dreams. And as we grow older, we begin to hold even tighter. We hold on to our possessions, our identities, our titles, our relationships, our memories, our fears. Holding becomes a habit. It feels safe, as though by clinging we can stop time, control life, and prevent loss. But life is not built for holding. Life is a river, and rivers flow. When you try to hold the water in your hands, it slips through your fingers no matter how tightly you close them. This is the truth we must learn. Not to dam the river, but to flow with it. Letting go does not mean indifference. It does not mean you stop loving, or stop caring, or stop valuing what is precious. It means you stop attaching yourself to things as if they must remain forever. Because nothing remains. Everything changes. Seasons change, bodies change, people change. The very thoughts you are having right now will change. If you fight this truth, you will suffer. But if you embrace it, you discover a freedom beyond measure. Think for a moment about all the weight you are carrying. Regrets about the past, expectations about the future, resentments that live quietly in your chest, unspoken but heavy. Fears that whisper at night when you try to rest. Do you realize how much of your life force is being consumed just to carry these things? And yet, when you look closely, you see they are not tangible. You cannot hold them in your hands. They exist only in the mind. The moment you decide to release them, they vanish like smoke. The burden is not real. It is created by clinging. There was once a story of two monks walking together on a journey. They came to a river where a woman stood, unable to cross. One monk, without hesitation, lifted her up and carried her across the water. He set her down on the other side and continued walking. Hours passed in silence. Finally, the other monk, disturbed, said, "Brother, why did you carry that woman? We are monks. We must not touch women." The first monk smiled gently and said, "I put her down hours ago, but it seems you are still carrying her." This is the power of letting go. How often do we carry what no longer exists? A word someone spoke years ago, a mistake we made long ago, an opportunity we think we missed. We carry them not on our backs, but in our minds, replaying them endlessly until they weigh more than stones. Letting go means finally setting them down. On this day, this 19 September, a day that life itself has whispered to you as very, very special, I invite you to ask yourself, what am I still holding that no longer serves me? What thoughts repeat in my head that keep me tied to yesterday? What fears keep me from stepping into tomorrow? What attachments make me blind to the gift of this moment? Letting go is not loss. Letting go is liberation. Imagine standing in a forest with your hands full of stones. You wish to pick up the flowers around you, to gather the fruit from the trees, to feel the softness of the earth. But you cannot. Your hands are full. Only when you drop the stones can you receive the gifts of the forest. Life is the same. If your hands and heart are filled with yesterday's weight, how can you receive today's blessings? How can you embrace tomorrow's opportunities? To let go is to empty your hands so that life may fill them again and again. Many people fear letting go because they think it means weakness. They think it means surrender, defeat, losing what they value. But true letting go is the opposite. It is the courage to trust life. It is the courage to say, I release control, because I know life has a rhythm greater than my understanding. It is the wisdom to see that everything has its season, just as flowers bloom and fade, just as the sun rises and sets, just as the tide comes in and out. To let go is to live in harmony with the natural law of impermanence. Let us reflect on relationships. Sometimes we hold on to people not because they belong in our lives, but because we fear loneliness. We stay attached to friendships that have grown toxic, to partners who do not truly see us, to communities that no longer nourish us, because the thought of letting go terrifies us. But by holding on, we block the path of growth. By holding on, we prevent the right people from entering. Have you ever noticed that when you finally release someone who was draining you, a new energy enters your life? This is not coincidence. It is the law of space. You cannot invite new light into a room filled with clutter. You cannot invite new love into a heart filled with attachment. To let go is to create space, and in that space miracles can arrive. Letting go also applies to success and failure. Many people define themselves by achievements. They hold tightly to titles, positions, victories of the past. But what happens when the title is taken away, when the crowd stops applauding? If your identity is tied to what you achieved, then losing it feels like losing yourself. That is why awareness of impermanence is so important. Success comes, success goes. Failure comes, failure goes. Neither is permanent. Neither defines who you are. You are not the wave that rises and falls. You are the ocean that remains. When you let go of identification with success and failure, you find peace. Do not mistake this for passivity. Letting go does not mean you stop striving, stop dreaming, stop acting. It means you strive without clinging. You dream without attachment. You act without demanding a certain result. This is freedom. A warrior swings his sword with full strength, but when the battle ends, he lays it down. He does not carry it forever. In the same way, you give your best to life, but then you release the outcome. If it succeeds, good. If it fails, good. You remain steady.